All right, good morning, everyone. While waiting for your friends, please get started with this exercise first. So please copy this exercise in your exercise book and you can start matching it with the correct description. Yes, Adam, how can I help you? Are you done?
No, teacher thriller what?
Hmm?
Cerita thriller tu apa?
Thriller means like dia macam horror tapi dia lebih kepada dia macam horror tapi dia lebih kepada um, ada tension. Macam contohnya you tak tahu apa yang berlaku nanti, so you keep on wanting to see more.
Okay.
Alright, everyone. It's 9:15 now. Are you done with the exercise yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. For those of you who have not finished, it's okay. You can continue it later after class. I will send you the screenshot so that you can do it. Okay, before we discuss, let's look at the topic for today. All right, as promised, this week we are going to start our intensive writing workshop. And the first topic we are doing is movie review. Movie review, if it ever comes up in exam, it will be in your writing part 3. One of the 3 questions that you can choose to answer. So if you don't like movie review, that's fine. You don't have to do it, but I'll just teach you the format, how to write it. Cool? All right, let's move on. The first activity is the activity that you have just done. Match the type of movie with its description. And supposedly we do this in class and you will have your handout with you, but that's fine. I show you the screenshot just now, so you have that's your handout basically. All right, now let's look at the answers. Okay, I'm gonna just randomly call somebody and you can tell me your answers. All right, the first one, comedy. Let's have Adib. What's your answer?
D.
Sorry?
The answer is D.
D.
Film that
Okay, thank you. A film that make people laugh a lot. That's correct. Thank you, Adib. Right, next one. Let's have Noaina for horror. I, a movie that makes people scream and be afraid. Good. Okay, next, let's have Iza for romance.
H.
H, a love story that is intended to melt people's heart. Good. Next, let's have Tan for thriller.
thriller. J.
J, a spy story or a tension-filled story. Good. That's correct. Usually, thriller is something that you cannot predict the ending. Then we would say that is thriller. Sorry. Okay, next let's have Shauki for action films. G. Yes, thank you. Those with high energy scenes such as car chase, natural disaster, like Mission Impossible. Those are your action films. Next, let's have Eve for drama. Eve, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
B.
Drama B. B is not quite it. Can you guess another one?
E.
Thank you. So drama is often sad story about difficult situation. For example, a few years ago, a movie that went really popular was The Fault in Our Stars. So it's about story about cancer, about sickness. So those are your drama. Okay, next let's have Amira for war film.
F.
F, a film related to warfare. Okay, next let's have Alisa for science fiction. Okay, Alisa showed us the answer A. Thank you. Set in the future, and it is about either planet Earth or other planet. Okay. Next, let's have who else haven't been called? Umaira for biographical.
B.
B, someone's life story. Good. And lastly, I'll do this one for you. Adventure is story related to travel and quest. Okay, so these are the genre of the movie, and you can use it in your writing when you introduce the movie. Okay, now let's look at what is the definition of a review. Okay, I'll read it here real quick for you. A review is an evaluation of a thing. Evaluation means penilaian. For example, you may be asked to review a book, a restaurant, a film, a program, a performance, an event, a place, etc. You are also required to offer your own personal opinion on the topic. So when you write a review, it means that you have either already been to the restaurant, or you have read the book, or you have watched the movie, or you have watched the performance, and now you need to comment about it. It's like you're writing your comment on Yelp or writing your comment on Grab, Food Panda is the same thing. Except this one needs to be longer. It has to be 200 to 250 words. Okay, next, let us look at the structure of a movie review. Okay, you can write as long as you want. If you have many ideas and you want to write 500 words, that's up to you, but it's not recommended because you might take up too much time and you don't have enough time for your part 1 and part 2. Okay, so the basic one is you need to have 4 paragraphs. The first paragraph, you need to introduce the general information. So you tell your readers about the name of the movie, the genre, the year it is made, the name of the director if you know, and the name of the main actor and actresses. And paragraph 2, you write a brief synopsis of the movies. So people who read your review, they might not have seen the movie before. In fact, often they have not seen the movie before. That's why they want to read your review first. So you need to tell them about what is the story about without telling them the ending, also without telling too much. If you give them too much details, then there's no fun of them watching the movie anymore. Okay, so there are 4 things that you need to briefly describe. You tell them about the main characters. You tell them what mission do the main characters have to do. Is this a story about finding love? Is this a story about finding treasures? Is this a story about 2 people trying to fight against villains? What do they have to do? And what troubles do they go through? If they are finding love, is it because they have very bad personality, that's why they cannot find love? Or is it because they are trying to find treasures but there are villains stopping them? So what are the troubles that face? And lastly, what's the ending here? Okay, you can either If it is a documentary, then you can tell the audience the ending. But if it is something you want the audience to experience themselves, then you don't have to tell the ending, but you need to like set up a question or something, create a suspense so that the audience want to go and watch it. And next, paragraph 3, you give your opinion about the movie. What do you like about the movie and what do you hate about the movie? You can comment on every single thing from plot to acting to soundtrack to special effects to costume to ending. Every single thing you can comment about it. Like, for example, I watched the movie Ultraman and I hate the special effects used in the movie because you can see the zipper on the monster suit, so you know it's from a human. So that's something you can comment about. And lastly, you need to give your recommendation of the movie. Should everyone go to watch the movie? If it is a good movie, then of course encourage people to go and watch it. If it is a horrible movie, then you might want to like say something like don't waste your time to go watch it, something like that, and summarize the movie in one sentence. So this is a recap of what you have just wrote in paragraph 2 and 3. Give a one sentence recap. Okay, so far, do you have any questions? If you have no questions, can you please do the raise hand icon so that you are good to move on? Cool. Thank you, Amira and Lister. All right, now we are going to move on. Okay, so we are going to look at a sample movie review. And so this is like a sample essay. You look at it, and then after that you do exercise based on it. Okay, and the movie that we are going to look at today is this one. Okay, have anyone seen this movie before?
No.
Oh,
No?
No.
I heard a lot.
Yes.
No. Yes, I heard somebody say yes. All right. I heard some yes, some no. That's totally fine. You don't have to see this movie first to write a movie review about it. To read a movie review about it. When you write your own movie review, then choose a movie that you have seen and you are familiar with. Ah, you can either, when you are writing your own, you can choose a Malay movie or an Indian movie, a Bollywood movie. Any movie is fine, as long as you can explain it to the audience. In fact, it is better that you have never seen this movie before, for some of you, so that when you read the movie review, then you know how you can tell your audience what they need to know. Okay, so this is a movie by the same director that made Your Name. This is the latest film that is released in 2019. In Japanese is Tenki no Ko. In English is Weathering with You. Okay, and we are going to look at the sample now. I'm going to exit here. To my Okay, there are 4 paragraphs here. So let's have 4 different people reading this. Any volunteers want to read this? All right, no volunteers. That's cool. I'm gonna just randomly call someone. Christina, are you there? Can you read the first paragraph for us?
Yes.
Thank you.
Weathering with You is one of the best animated romance fantasy film in recent years. The film was directed by Makoto Shinkai and it was released in 2019. The movie is 1 hours and 15 minutes long.
Okay, thank you, Christina. Next, let's hear from Jiha. Jiha, can you read the second paragraph?
The mist that eventually took us everywhere has been raining frequently in Tokyo. The hero of the film Hadaka is a runaway while the heroine Hina is a girl with the ability to control the weather. She can make the sky stop raining by praying. Together they start a business to clear the weather for events such as weddings and parties. However, Hadaka later finds out that Hina's body is slowly turning into water the more she uses her power. He promises to protect Hina, but the next morning Hina has disappeared into the sky and the rain has stopped. Can Hadaka keep his promise to save his beloved friend?
Okay, good. Thank you. Right, next, let's hear from, is Alia here?
Alia apa teacher?
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Alia Farisha, since you have already turned on your mic, come on, let's paragraph 3.
I enjoyed the movie very much because the quality of the animation is superb. For instance, the rainy scenery of Tokyo is lifelike. Besides that, the soundtrack is calming. I listen to the soundtrack time and time again even after I finish the movie. The plot is interesting, although the plot twist of the movie is not as shocking as that of Your Name, another movie by Makoto Shinkai.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, let's hear from Atif. Atif, can you read the last paragraph for us?
Okay. I would highly recommend Weathering with You to everyone. The twists and turns in the plot will keep you wondering what the ending will be. So check this movie out when you have a chance.
Okay, good. Thank you very much to everyone who read. Okay, as you can see here, I just want to point out a few things before we move on. Okay, I'm marking your essays now, and I realize when you are doing your explanation, a lot of time you like to write you. Like for example, I would like to spend money on buying a handbag. Okay, and then you want to elaborate why you want to buy a handbag, right? And then you say, if you buy a good handbag, it can last you for a long time. Okay, then you see that they are like communicative miscommunication there. Why? Because you say you want to buy, like I want to buy a handbag. Tapi explanation you bagi, if you buy a handbag, dia akan last long. Okay, patutnya you say I would like to buy a handbag for myself, and then if I buy a good handbag, it would last me for a long time. So you don't use you all the time. And you can see here in this review as well, they only use you at the very last paragraph when they want to encourage people to watch the movie. But in paragraph 1, 2, and 3, when giving your own opinion, you don't use you use I. I enjoy the movie very much. I listen to the soundtrack. Okay, so that's something I want to point out. You can look at it more when you get your own exam paper, hopefully tomorrow. Okay, and then let's see what's the next thing we want to do. Okay. Okay, here activity 2, read the movie review in your handout. Okay, we have just done that. Next, activity 3, highlight all the linking words and cohesive device used in the review. Linking words and cohesive device means like kata hubung, like and, or, so, besides that, moreover, all those are your linking words and cohesive device. Okay, so this one I want you to do as a homework. because there are quite some things I want you to write in your book. Okay, so let's look at what I want you to do for today. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is this one. If you haven't finished it already just now for activity 1, please continue to finish this. Okay, after you are done with this, the second thing I want you to do is this one. This is just notes on how to write a good movie review, but I would like you to copy this in your exercise book so that you can refer to it all the time when you're in class or when you're doing your own revision. Okay, again, I know this is a lot of words. So if you have a printer with you and you want to print this out and paste it inside your exercise book, I'm more than okay with it. Okay, so I give you 3 choices. It's either you copy this in your exercise book, or you print this out and paste it in your exercise book, or you photostat from your friend and paste it inside your exercise book. Okay, so make sure you have a copy of this in your book. The third thing I want you to do is later I will give you the screenshot of the essay, and I want you to find all linking words and cohesive device. Again, there are 2 ways you can go about it. It's either you print out this essay and you highlight the linking words and cohesive device, or you want to copy the whole essay and then highlight the words, also can. Or if you don't have a printer and you are too busy to copy this essay, then you just list down the cohesive device in your exercise book. Paling penting, you cuba buat exercise tu dan you ada jawapan. Is that okay with everyone? Now let us look at the exercise. See on screen is the essay, and I'm going to call on your name and you tell me what linking words or cohesive device you find. Again, we are looking for kata hubung here. Okay, so the first paragraph, can I have Crystal? Do you see any linking words? You can also type your answer if you're not free to speak. There's one linking word on the second line of first paragraph. Okay, maybe Crystal is not free to speak. How about the rest of you? Anyone? First paragraph, linking words.
N.
Thank you very much. The answer is N. Done. Okay, this is the only one in first paragraph. Now we're gonna move on to second paragraph. Okay, anyone?
While.
While, very good. Thank you, Logan. While means manakala. Okay, next. How about Safia? Do you find any? Okay, maybe Safia is not free to speak. I see Logan type for, and then Sweta type by, because. Okay, because is one. For and by is not. For and by are prepositions. Mana because tu? Huh? Where do you see the word because? We are now in paragraph 2, everyone. Okay, but is one. But. Okay, paragraph 2, there are a few more. Can we finish paragraph 2 first? And, yes, correct. Okay, other than and, there are 2 more in line 4. There are two more in line 4. Two is not, Hazim. Two is preposition. There are two more in line 4. One is to use to show tetapi, and the other one is to show seperti. Such as, I see a lot of you confused and you take it as a separate. Some of the linking words have more than one words. So such as means seperti. Okay, another one that means tetapi. However, I see Wen Xian type that. Thank you very much. However means tetapi. Okay, anything else? I think that's it. Okay, now we move on to paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 just now, Sophia already gave us because. Good. Okay, next. There are quite a few here.
Although.
Although, thank you very much. Although means walaupun. Walaupun, although. Okay, next. For instance, very good. For instance is another word for example. So after this, you can switch and use interchangeably. Besides that, thank you, Sweta. And Monisha as well. Besides that, I think that's it. You have because, for instance, besides that, and although. And the last paragraph, there is only one that means oleh itu. Can anyone tell me?
So.
Thank you. The answer is so. All right, good. Thank you everyone for your participation. Okay, the reason we are doing this activity is because in your exam for your essay, all three of your essays, they will have C, CA, O, and L to give you marks. And O stand for organization. To get high marks in organization, other than your paragraph need to be very well organized, you need to use all these linking words and cohesive device. Kena ada kata hubung. Baru nampaknya essay tu lengkap, nampak essay tu kemas. That's why you must make sure you use them. Okay, so that's it for this exercise. We are going to move on to the next exercise, which is exercise 4. Okay, exercise 4 here, it says, circle all the adjectives and adverbs used in the review. So now we need to find all the adjectives and adverbs. Okay, we are going to do this exercise together. Again, we're going to look at this again, and we are going to look for all the adjectives, which is kata sifat, and adverbs, which means kata sifat yang guna di depan ataupun di belakang kata kerja to describe the action. Alright, paragraph 1. Do you see any adjectives here?
Romantic.
Romantic, good. We're going to switch another color here. I'm going to use red. Okay, any other adjectives? Feel free to type as well if you are not free to. Okay, Monish say long. That's a good try. But here, long actually refers to the time. So, yeah, it's not counted as an adjective. But that's a good try. Good job. Okay, actually here, one of the best is also an adjective. Paling best, paling bagus. Animated is also an adjective, which means It's not real. It's not by real people. Fantasy is also an adjective. But also these are the words used for genre. So if you didn't pick them up, that's totally fine as well. Now let's on to paragraph 2, which definitely have more adjectives here. Okay, do you see any adjectives in paragraph 2? Clear, okay. Here clear is actually a verb. They start a business to clear the weather. So here referring to dia membuka satu bisnes untuk menjelaskan, untuk menerangkan cuaca tu. So here clear is actually a verb. Okay, good try. Any other words? Slowly, good. Slowly is an adverb. Slowly is an adverb. And I see raining. Raining is a verb. Raining is not an adjective. Any other? Power. Power is a noun. Yes, sorry, just now someone was speaking.
Disappear.
Disappear is a verb, which means dia hilang. Now we are looking for kata sifat, everyone. Let me give you a hint here. There's one in line 1. And there's one in the last line of paragraph 2. Interesting. Okay, interesting is in paragraph 3. We will go to that later. Promise. Promise is a noun. Is a kata nama. Frequently. Thank you, Chu. Frequently means selalu. Selalu is used to describe the raining. Kata sifat dengan adverb tu kita guna sebelum ataupun selepas kata nama ataupun kata kerja. So raining, hujan. Hujan macam mana? Hujan selalu. Okay, and thank you Dashaini. The last one is beloved. Kawan yang disayangi. Okay, good. Now we're going to move on to paragraph 3. Just now, Monish already said interesting, which is correct. Okay, any other? You have more adjectives here. Superb, yes, superb means very good. There should be 1, 2, 3, 3 more. Yes, calming. Thank you, Monisha. Calming means relaxing. How about the rest of you? You can also contribute your ideas. Yes, thank you. Thank you to a few of you who write shocking. Good. Enjoy is a verb. Enjoy means you suka benda tu, you menikmati benda tu. There is one more in line number 2 of paragraph 3. Scenery means pemandangan. It is a noun. Thank you, Lokman. The answer is lifelike. Lifelike means very realistic. Wondering is a verb. Wondering means you asyik terfikir-fikir pasal tu. Okay, last paragraph, wondering is not one. There is only one adverb here. Highly, thank you, Crystal. Highly means sangat. So sangat. So here highly recommend means sangat. Dia sangat promote kat orang lah. Dia sangat recommend kita pergi tengok. Alright, here you have already finished the exercise. Good job. You have find all the adverbs and adjectives. And the reason why we are doing this exercise is because in your exam, just now I mentioned C, CA, O, and L. O refer to organization And just now I already said you need a lot of linking words and cohesive device. For L language, to get high marks in language, you need two things. One is write with good grammar. The second one is write with good vocabulary. And to write with good vocabulary, one of it is you must use many adjectives and adverbs. So here, this is an exercise to help you with it. Okay, now we are going to move on to exercise 5. What is exercise 5? Oh, this is the answer. Never mind, we did this. Now we move on to exercise 5. Rephrase the sentence. Okay, now I will give you some sentence and I want you to write them in different way. Okay, let's look at this. So big. Okay, here. Activity 5. Below are some useful adjectives you can use in film reviews. Use them to rephrase the sentence 1 to 8. The first one has been done for you. So they give you 8 different adjectives and look at the first sentence. I knew the ending from the beginning. Dari awal dah tahu macam mana story itu berjalan. So maksudnya the ending is predictable. Okay, now the second sentence, you need to change it. The costume the actors wear are excellent. And then you would change it to the costume the actors wear are something. Okay, this exercise I want you to do in your exercise book. So I will give you 15 minutes. We are going to discuss this at 12:15. So please take out your exercise book and start writing now. Feel free to ask if you have any questions. All right, everyone, it's 12:15 now. If you are here and you can hear me, can you please put on the raise hand icon so that I know you're here? Okay, I see 4 of you raise your hand. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to discuss the answers for this activity 5. Okay, you can either type your answer in the group or you can tell me through voice as well. Okay, so the second one, the costume the actors wear are excellent. The costume the actors wear are, what's your answer there? Superb. Thank you very much. Superb is the correct one. Okay, next, the special effects didn't seem very real. So how did you change the sentence? Can you either type the sentence or tell me the sentence? Okay, I see through writing unrealistic, which is correct, but can you give me the full sentence? The special effects seems unrealistic. Good. That's correct. The special effects seem unrealistic. Next, it's an experience film goers will never forget. It's an experience film goers will never forget. Okay. Why not? You guys can type your answers in the chat. Maybe a few of you can do question 4, a few of you can do question 5, question 6, question 7, and question 8 as well. So we can speed up the discussion a little bit. Shahid, give me the full sentence. Please give me the full sentence. Okay, why not Shahid do question 4, Sophia do question 5, and then Chu do question 6, Monisha do question 7, and Dashaini do question 8. Type your answers in the group. Or if the rest of you want to type, you can type as well. Then we can check together. Okay, I see Monisha writing number 5. Some scenes are very scary. Some scenes are terrifying. No need, if you have terrifying, you do not need very, because terrifying means very scary. Okay, and number 8, the plot is interesting and unusual. You change it to the plot is original. That's correct. Okay, how about the other few questions? Question number 4, question number 6, and question number 7. Okay, thank you, Logan, for question number 4. It's an experienced film goer unforgettable. This sentence seems out of place. So try to rearrange it. It's an unforgettable experience for film goers. Then it will be accurate. It's an unforgettable experience for film goers. Good. Thank you, Shahid. Okay, next. How about question 6 and 7? Question number 6. The leading actor's performance wasn't as good as I expected. The leading actor's performance was disappointing. Okay, if you put disappointing, you do not need as I expected. So just say the leading actor's performance is disappointing or was disappointing. Okay, next, the last one, number 7. Anyone? Number 7? Number 7, you just need to change the sentence, one of the words to the words that are given. Change the adjective to another adjective. That's it. Okay, thank you, Shahid. The answer should be the film is set at the top of a mountain with a spectacular view. So you replace beautiful with spectacular. Good job. All right, thank you everyone who participated. Okay, now let's look at the sample answers. These are the sample answers. Okay, I want to draw your attention to one thing. If you see there, the ending is predictable. The costume the actors wear are superb. The special effects are unrealistic. And some scenes are terrifying. The leading actor's performance is disappointing. So you notice one thing here. All of these sentences are written in present tense. So please use present tense when you are talking about, when you're giving comment about the movie. Okay? Please use present tense when you are giving comment about the movie. Okay, so that's it for today. Next class, I will give you more tips on how to write movie review, and I will ask you to write your own movie review. All right. Wait, where am I? Okay, I'm going to share screen with you now. Our lesson today will likely be shorter because there will be no exercise for you. You are mainly listening to me babbling about tips for movie review, and then after that, I'll let you off. You have done many exercise in the previous 2 classes. Hopefully that will give you a hang on how to write with good components. Okay, let me share slides with you. This is what we're looking at today. Okay, movie review. This is a question that I've taken from your Form 4 textbook. A film club you belong to has asked its member to write reviews of films they have seen recently. The reviews will be posted on the club's webpage. So the question here is really short with no additional information given. It's actually better for you because you can write whatever you want. In your exam, you are given a bit of guidelines to follow, and when some of you fail to follow that and fail to give answer every single questions given, your marks will be lowered. Okay, so in your exam, you are assessed based on 4 components. The first one is content. The second one is communicative achievement. Third one is organization. And the last one is language. Today we are going to look at these 4 components and see how you can get marks out of it. Each component will give you a maximum of 5 marks. So total for your essay is 20 marks. Okay, let's look at the first component. Oh, before that, this is what I've shown you in the first class, how to write a good movie review. You have 4 paragraphs with different content. And I've asked you to copy this or print this out and put inside your exercise book as notes. So if you haven't done so already, please do it. Okay, today we are not going to look at this. We are going to look at first content. So in order to get 5 marks, which is actually the easiest 5 marks to get, first you need to answer all the questions given in the task. And the second one is your response is always relevant to the requirement of the task. So what does it mean by answer all the questions? Okay, for your diagnostic test, let's say for example, you do article needed, keeping up with technology, and they gave you 3 questions. What kind of technology do we have now? What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? So if you fail to answer any one of these, then you will not get 5 marks. Okay. Response is always relevant to the requirement of the task. So for example, for movie review, in the sample given, I was talking about Weathering with You, the movie Weathering with You. And I briefly mentioned your name, like the plot twist of Weathering with You is not as good as that of your name. Kalau setakat mention kejap tak apa, tapi kalau you dah terus start with like, oh your name is so good because this and that, blah 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 blah. Lepas tu you dah digress sebab patutnya you punya review cakap pasal Weathering with You, you cakap pasal your name pula. So then it's not relevant, then your marks will be lowered. Okay, until here, do you have any questions? If you have no question, can you give me the raise hand icon so that I know you're still here? All right, thank you very much. I see a few of you raise your hand. Now we're going to move on to the second one, which is communicative achievements. Communicative achievement sounds like a big word, but don't be scared by it. It just means message awak tu sampai ke tak kat pembaca. Okay, macam mana kita nak sampaikan message kepada pembaca? We will look at nada, we will look at panggilan ataupun gelaran, and then we will look at how you present your idea. Okay. Nada, which is tone, you need to use a formal tone for movie review and also report, part 2 essay and your article. You only use informal when you are writing email or maybe writing story, but the rest you need to use more formal tone. Register is you need to use appropriate pronouns. Pronouns is your kata ganti nama. So for movie review, you will always use I. I enjoy this movie. I like this soundtrack, because you are giving your own personal opinion, and you only use you in the last paragraph when you are encouraging other people to go watch. For example, I hope you don't miss this movie because it's a great movie. Please go to the cinema and support this movie. That's the only time you will use you. For your diagnostic test, part 2 essay, a lot of you use you, which is not appropriate. Like for example, you say, I would like to spend money on buying a new pair of shoes. Then after that, you want to give a bit more huraian. You say, when you have this pair of shoe, you will be very stylish and people will look at you as a fashion icon. Patutnya you guna I sebab you sekarang you yang nak beli sneaker ni. So should be, I would like to buy a pair of sneaker. When I have this pair of sneaker, I will be a fashion icon. That would be the correct register. And the last one is ideas. You will use straightforward ideas in email, like for example, I think you should buy Nike. This is a very straightforward idea. When you are talking about complex idea, which is needed in your part 2 essay and part 3 essay, then you need to use a bit of a high level linking words. Like for example, you would say, even though Nike is very comfortable, I think you should buy Adidas because it is more suitable for your feet size. Or you can use something like, if I have a pair of Nike, then I will be a fashion icon. So you tengok you punya idea bukan straightforward je bagi tahu, oh saya nak ni, saya suka ni. You ada buat scenario sikit, you ada buat fikiran sikit pasal another scenario, compare Nike dengan Adidas, lepas tu baru pilih satu. So you can see these are some examples of complex ideas. So please try to write, please try to introduce more complex idea in your essay. All right, next we're going to move on to organization. Organization is how well organized is your essay. Essay awak tu ada flow tak? Okay, you need to use linking words and cohesive device, which are your kata hubung, and also you need to write in clear paragraphs. Usually, you need to write around 4 or 5 paragraphs. You only write 1 paragraph if you are writing email. The rest, if you just have 1 or 2 paragraphs, that's not enough. You need to write 4 or 5. Okay, now we are going to look at some sample linking words and cohesive device. I know it is a very simple exercise, but I want you to try and give me response. Okay, I will give you the English one and I want you to translate them into BM. We will of course start with the easiest one first. N, what is N in BM?
Done.
Done, okay. Feel free to also type your answer if you're not free to speak. But,
Tetapi.
so,
Jadi.
ataupun oleh itu, because,
Sebab.
sebab, kerana, or,
atau.
okay, atau. Thank you, Arif, for the answers. All right, now let me give you a few in BM and then you tell me in English. Okay, what is supaya in English?
So that.
So that, yes. A lot of you, you use so and so that in, you think they are the same thing and then they use it together. But sometimes you need to use so that, which means supaya. So means oleh itu. Dia tak sama Okay, another thing I want to point out is your because. You guys like to start your sentence with because, and it is wrong. Okay, for example, you want to say, I like to watch Weathering with You because it is a good movie. Okay, tak ada masalah sentence ni. Tapi kalau you nak pecahkan jadi dua ayat, I like to watch Weathering with You, and then you put full stop, and then you say, because it is a good movie, that's incorrect. You should say, I like to watch Weathering with You, full stop, it is because it is a good movie. Okay, so make sure you don't use these linking words to start a sentence. Right, now we move on to level 2, a bit harder one. Now you have your cohesive device and phrases, and I have them in 4 different categories for you. The first category is introducing a point or adding a point. The second one is expressing contrast. Contrast means like dua idea yang bercanggah, you nak gabungkan dia dalam satu perenggan ataupun satu ayat. Giving examples, and last one is giving opinion. Okay, again the same thing. I will ask you the BI and then you give me the BM. Okay, what is besides that?
Selain itu,
Selain itu, good, thank you Ain. In addition,
tambahan pula.
tambahan, moreover,
Lebih dari itu,
maksud dia macam selain itu tambahan pula juga. Apart from that,
salah satu daripada.
Salah satu is one of the reasons, one of the activities. But here, apart from that, is actually also selain daripada itu. Okay, can you give me another one in English that also means tambahan pula ataupun selain itu?
besides,
Okay, besides, any other that you always use in your essay actually?
therefore,
Therefore is oleh itu. So that one is not, that one is incorrect. Therefore is oleh itu. I give you a hint. Now we are looking at tambahan pula. It starts with F.
Furthermore.
Furthermore, yes. Okay. A few things to point. In addition is 2 words. Don't join them. Moreover is 1 word. Don't split them. Okay. Now we move on to expressing contrast. We have but, which means tetapi. However, what does however mean?
walau bagaimanapun,
Tak, sebenarnya however juga maksud tetapi. Tapi dia beza sebab dia guna untuk start ayat. But you tak boleh guna untuk start ayat. Walau bagaimanapun is not however. Walau bagaimanapun is nevertheless. Walau bagaimanapun is nevertheless. Okay, although, walaupun, good. While,
sementara itu,
ataupun manakala. On the other hand, on the other hand is also manakala. Tapi selain itu, tapi you nak introducekan idea yang bercanggah. Contohnya, weathering with you is weathering with you has good soundtrack. On the other hand, di sebaliknya, your name has good animation. So satu ialah soundtrack dia bagus, satu ialah animation dia bagus. So dua benda yang berlainan, you gabungkan guna on the other hand. Alright. Next, we move on to giving examples. For instance and for example is the same thing. So after this, you can use them interchangeably. Janganlah selalu guna for example. Kadang-kala gunalah for instance. Okay, such as is the same, but such as is used in the sentence itself. You cannot use such as to start a sentence. Okay. One thing I want to point out here, you guys like to use for example to start a sentence, but after that your sentence is incomplete. Tak ada subject, tak ada apa-apa. I give you an example. In your part 2 essay, you wrote, I would spend my money on clothes. For example, Uniqlo, H&M, Gucci, Prada. Tapi you punya ayat tu tak ada subjek, tak ada apa-apa. Tak boleh macam tu. So, you need to write, I would spend my money on clothes. Full stop. For example, I like to buy clothes from Gucci, Prada, H&M, Uniqlo. So, you still need a new sentence, a new subject, a new verb. Okay. So, that one is for giving examples. Giving opinion, I think semua orang boleh faham. Okay, so far, do you have any questions? Okay, I see Arif and Adam raise your hand. I would assume that you raise hand, it means that you have no question. Okay, if you see any question after this, feel free to PM me or ask in the group. Yeah. Okay. Next, let's move on to the last part, which is your language. Okay, language is a bit harder to score because you need to write with good grammar and also suitable vocabulary. I don't want you to think too much about it. Kalau setiap ayat tulis, lepas tu nak fikir grammar ni betul ke tak, kalau macam tu, alahan, 1.5 hours is not enough for you to write 3 essays. So don't think too much about it. But after you finish writing your essay, if you have time, please check your essay again and correct any mistake that you find. If you have extra time, please use it to check your essay again and change any grammar if you see mistake. Please do not use the time to go and count your words. I notice a lot of you like to count your words. Tolong jangan buat kerja bodoh macam tu, tak payah. Even if you write less than 200 words, you will still, if you write a good essay, you will still get good marks. If you write 500 words and your essay is horrible, you will still get a horrible mark regardless of how many words you write. Okay? So in your essay, no need to go and count the words. Use the time to check your grammar. All right. What is the meaning of suitable vocabulary? I give you example. Since now we are talking about movie review, you should be using vocabulary such as the duration of the movie, this movie is a blockbuster, or the soundtrack is very calming. So use words that are related to movies. All right, let's look at grammar for movie review. Okay, when you're talking about movie review, you always use present simple tense to describe the plot and also describe anything about the movie. So for example, Hadaka runs away from home, present tense. The movie is interesting, present tense. You only use past tense when you are talking about your own experience. Vocabulary tu apa ya? Vocabulary is words that you use. So vocab yang awak guna tu sesuai ke tak? Kalau you guna perkataan yang tak sesuai, nanti markah awak akan rendah. Macam contohnya dalam you punya essay, part 2 essay in a diagnostic test, korang confuse between spend money and save money. You want to say nak simpan duit untuk kegunaan masa depan, but you say patutnya save money to use in the future. Korang cakap we should spend money to use in the future. Tu dah salah lah vocab dia. So kalau banyak-banyak salah vocab macam tu, nampak sangat you tak faham apa yang you tengah tulis, so maka awak akan rendah. Thank you for the question, Adam. Then at least some of your friends can, they are confused before this, they know as well. Okay, coming back here, just now I was saying you only use past tense to talk about your opinion. For example, I watched the movie last week in the cinema. The cinema was very crowded. I hated my experience there. So you guna past tense untuk experience awak. Tapi untuk plot and also for apa benda tu? For giving comments about the movie, you would use present simple tense. Okay, so far, do you have any questions?
No.
No question. I see Amza raising hand as well. So I suppose you have no question here. All right. So now I'm done with my babbling part. These are some of the useful phrases you can use to write your movie review. So kalau contohnya tak tahu macam mana nak start ayat, tak tahu macam mana yang boleh bagi opinion, you can refer to this list of words. These are actually from your Form 4 textbook, but since you don't have them with, you don't have the book with you now, I already screenshot it and put it here. So later when I share the slides with you, you can refer to this. All right, so I'm done with my presentation.
Miss,
Yes.
will that slide be posted in Telegram group?
Later I'll share in PDF so you can look at it even if from the phone.
Okay, thank you.
Nak kena salin tadi.
Salin apa?
Yang tadi tu lah yang Miss tunjuk.
Tak payah.
Tak payah.
You guna je dalam essay awak.
Can we print it out?
If you want to print out, you can print out.
Okay, thank you.
The only thing that I betul-betul want you to salin and patutnya dah salin is this one. This one hari tu saya ada share satu gambar dalam group kan. Ni yang kena salin. Ni yang kena salin sebab ni rangka dia. Yang lain tak payah salin, tak payah, yang lain tengok je. Alright, thank you for the questions. Any other questions? Okay, so if you have no more questions, it's your turn to write. But of course, this one is homework. The target outcome is you need to write 4 paragraphs following the structure that I gave you. And it's about 200 to 250 words. But again, these words is just a guideline. If you write more, that's totally fine. If you write less, then it's fine as well. But you need to make sure you have all the content. Kalau setakat tulis 100 perkataan, saya rasa tak cukup content dia. Okay. This one, you don't have to rush through it. You can take your time to do this. You can write this essay while you're munching on your kuih raya. I will only collect this essay from you after Raya holiday when we come back for another 10 days of PDPR.